in the dojo. But when the time comes where you got to fight, you got to go into battle.
There's no perfect way it's going to happen.
There's no perfect way. You just got to make it happen. Whether it's right or wrong, do it. And if you mess up, just keep going. Don't stop. Just keep going. Because your life counts on it. Remember, we're training for life. We're not training for sport. We're not training for trophies. We're not training for titles. And we're not training for reputation. We're training for life and death. Somebody attacks me on the street with a knife or a crowbar or puts a gun to my head. My first thought is this individual is trying to kill me. So I must defend myself. And sometimes that means crippling somebody or killing them too. You never ever want to have to kill anybody. You always want to be above it and never kill anybody. But you have to know how it's done. Because there could come that one time you might have to do it. It's what I call necessary. You might have 4 or 5 guys with blades coming at you, and you have no weapon. Your mind is your weapon. Now you got a guy coming in, you've got to break his arm, because if you disarm him, he could still wrestle with you. He could still pull you to the ground and lock onto you, latch onto you, and hold you so that his friends can get around and stick you in the back. So you may have to cripple his arm, you may have to cripple his leg, or you may have to snap his neck and take him out completely. In jiu-jitsu, the philosophy and the concept is you're fighting 6 guys at the same time. It's not one-on-one. Jiu-jitsu is one against many. They have weapons, you have no weapon. Your weapon is your mind. One individual comes in, I cripple him or kill him. Or I cripple him and then kill him and then move on to the next victim, the next person attacking me. If I allow him, I throw him down and control him, and I allow him to get back up uninjured, unhurt, I got to fight him again. So if I'm fighting 6 guys, I'm really fighting each guy 3, 4, 5 times. So 5 times 6 is 30 guys I'm fighting. But if I cripple this guy, now I only got to fight 5. I cripple that guy, now I only got to fight 4. That's the philosophy. That's the strategy of jiu-jitsu, is to take out as soon as I put my hands on somebody, there's trauma. I'm putting this guy in major pain. There is trauma. Because if I don't put him in major pain, he's going to be rational enough to think, to counter me. And I can't afford to have anybody counter me in the middle of a battle. I got to take them out. I got to take care of the business. I got to take the trash out. Get in and do my thing and move on to the next person quickly. So by practicing thinking too much and not doing the repetition, you're starting to hinder yourself. You're starting to program yourself to do everything in steps. Steps are good when you're first learning, but after you know it, you got to throw the steps away and make it one motion. So I might break something down into 10 different levels, but eventually those 10 levels become one level. And that one level is what you got to fight with. But if you spend the rest of your life always breaking everything down, and you continue and you don't get the repetition, the practicing of back and forth drills, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you're robbing yourself of your confidence, because you know you're not going to be able to think and do something in levels. It's just one time. You only get one chance to do it right in the street. Even if it's wrong, you got to make it work. Just one time. Guy comes at you with a machete. Okay, I've seen guys get attacked with machetes when I was growing up in Boston. I'd go to the Hispanic part of town, and people carry machetes in their cars because they work with them. Well, when somebody would get angry, they'd pull out a machete and they'd hack someone with the machete. I've seen people get whacked with machetes. Big gashes.
And the Puerto Ricans used to do that in Boston.
Yeah.
Knives and machetes.
And then some people use blades. They get cut. But what I'm saying is, with a machete, you only get one time. You don't get a second chance. With a blade, one time. With a gun, one time. Because if you mess it up, and he can switch hands with the gun, or he can turn the gun on you, your life is over. Okay? So you gotta get it right. So in here, we try to get it right. But you also got to learn to train through your mistakes. You make a mistake, it's okay. It's all right. Train through it. And don't think. Feel. Let your body feel everything. No thinking. Feeling. Everything has to be feeling. You have to have emotion when you do things. Your emotion is what's going to... When you feel something, you're going to have a certain emotion. Someone pushes on my shoulder, there's a certain emotion. I go with that that feeling and that emotion, and I make it work. That's why in the Shaolin Temple, they have different animals. Each animal represents a different emotion. So if you're a ferocious person, an angry person, an aggressive person, you do tiger. If you're a very serious person, you do snake. If you're kind of like a playful person, you'll do monkey. If you're a brittle person, you'll do crane. You understand? So each system of martial art in the Shaolin Temple was based on a different emotion. Certain people are fragile, certain people are big and tough. So that's how they geared the martial art for each individual, depending on your personality. Now, once you mastered that, then you would learn the opposite martial art. So if you was a serious person, and you do snake, now, once you mastered snake, now you go do monkey. It's the opposite of snake. So you have what we call balance, yin-yang balance. Your yin and your yang is balanced. Means your mind and body is balanced. Okay? So when we do things here, right now you're in a dojo, you're thinking, that's fine, but you also have to train with no mind, mushin. Just do. Just do. Okay? When you train back and forth and you feel tired, like you can't do it, but you keep doing it, they call that shugyo. Shugyo is hard-spirited training. Means you feel like you're ready to drop dead, but you push yourself. I'm ready to hurt my shoulder, but I push myself. Now, I wouldn't do that with a beginner, because a beginner may not know the difference from hurting his shoulder or not hurting his shoulder, taking an injury or not taking an injury. But at your level, you guys should know the difference. I know if my shoulder's going to pop out or not, so therefore I'll back off. You understand? Shugyo is hard-spirited training. It's training beyond